Welcome back, everybody, to another Birds of the Same Feather Get Sentenced to Prison Together episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, today we're going to be speaking about 3 young carjackers that got caught. And upon fleeing the vehicle, one of these individuals shot a deputy and killed him. The other 2 individuals that didn't shoot nothing are going to be paying the price with them. So listen up, all you young bucks out there committing crimes with your buddies. Let one of them get trigger happy, take a life. Trust me, you're going to be going to court with them. I'm going to give you a little breakdown on the situation, then we'll jump into the courtroom and witness one of the non-shooters get sentenced for his crimes. Now, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. If you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my beautifully assorted playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Raymond DeBose, 18, pleaded guilty in July to 1 count of first-degree murder of a police officer and 1 count of felony firearm.
I would like to apologize to the victim family for the hurt and pain that got caused to them. They saying it wasn't an accident, but it was. Cause I ain't wake up and say I want to go kill a cop today. Things didn't work out how I was supposed to.
He was sentenced to 33 to 60 years in prison. Wayne County prosecutors say DeBose fired the shots that struck Bradley Reckling. It says here that Sheriff's Deputy Bradley Reckling was shot and killed on June 22, 2024 while he was investigating a vehicle stolen from a water park in Madison Heights. Authorities say Bradley Reckling found the vehicle in Detroit and was behind it when the driver suddenly stopped. Probably recognized that the vehicle was tailing him. But it continues saying the individuals exited the car and opened fire. Bradley Reckling, 30, was a 9-year veteran in the Oakland County Sheriff's Office and a graduate of Romeo High School. He left behind a wife and 4 children. When he was killed, his wife was expecting their 4th child. And of course, my condolences go out to his family and loved ones, man. I got 4 children. I can't even imagine. Now keep in mind, Raymond DeBose was the shooter and he was sentenced to 33 to 60 years in prison. But that's not who we're going to see in the courtroom today. We're going to witness Marquise Goowens, one of the individuals who was not the shooter. How much time do you think he's going to get just for being a part of the equation? Honestly, I have no idea. So let's go ahead and jump into the courtroom and find out.
Good morning, Your Honor. Matthew Penny, P74079 for the people.
Good morning, Your Honor, and to your staff. Ron Hadid on behalf of the people, P62243.
Good morning, Judge. I'm Christopher Sinclair, 80512, appearing with and on behalf of Mr. Goowens, who's present and seated to my right.
Sir, if you would state your name for the record, please.
Marquise Goowens.
All right, good morning to all of you. Today is a day and time set for sentencing.
Right,
have you had an opportunity to
nice.
review the contents of the pre-sentence investigation report with Mr. Goowens?
Yes, ma'am. We've had an opportunity to review the pre-sentence investigation report. We have no additions, corrections, or deletions to the substance of the report. And I have had an opportunity to speak with the prosecutors on this matter. There are some corrections to the guidelines that we reviewed off the record, and I agree with the changes that the people will propose.
All right, thank you for that. On behalf of the people.
Your Honor, as to the substance of the report, the only change that I have is that Mr. Sinclair is retained and not appointed, and that would be on page 2 and 3 of the cover sheet of the report.
Okay, the clerk will make that change to the top of page 3. Under basic information report, and we'll also make that same change on page 1 of the pre-sentence investigation report. The court will strike paragraph 3 of the recommendations regarding attorney's fees.
And page 2 of the cover sheet also reflects appointed versus retained. It should be retained.
Court will make that change as well. Thank you for that.
Let me just paint a quick picture for you, all right? Keep in mind, this dude, I don't even think he was the driver. And he wasn't the shooter. He was just out probably, trying to get a few bucks, stealing cars and stuff, right? So it's probably blowing his mind that he's in here for something like this. I wonder if he has any regret towards his homeboy.
Any other corrections to the body of the report?
No, Your Honor.
And with respect to the guidelines?
With respect to the guidelines, starting with the first one, the carjacking offense, no changes to the PRVs. The only change that we have are to the offense variables. That is OV 12 should be 10 points. I did discuss that with Mr. Sinclair. He's in agreement. The total OV level should be 55. The OV level stays the same at 3. The guideline minimum range does not change.
All right, so OV 12, instead of 1, it should be 10.
Correct.
All right, keep in mind the pre-sentence investigation report actually could play a big factor, especially in a case like his. A few extra points here, there could turn, 5 years into decades in prison, or at least what he could be facing, So a lot of attorneys, defense attorneys, will argue the guideline pointage and try to reduce the points before he gets fully sentenced.
Making the total 55. OV level 3. Okay, and I think Mr. Sinclair already placed on the record that he had no objections to these changes, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, please continue.
With regards to the criminal enterprise charge, Your Honor, OV1 is 15, which is correct, but OV3 should be 0. If the court recalls, we had this discussion with regards to the third defendant on this case, Kareem Moore. The people are in agreement that OV3 should be 0 and not 100. OV12 should be 10. OV13 should be 25. Bringing down the OV level to 80. Or the total OVs to 80. And the guideline minimum range stays the same as well.
So it seems like there's a bunch of changes, or a few changes, but it doesn't change anything when it comes down to the sentencing.
And again, I know you said it, but just for the record again, no objection, correct?
Correct.
Or the guidelines for the sentencing.
Please continue.
With regards to the third count, the stolen property, receiving and concealing a motor vehicle, PRVs are correct. The OVs, OV12 should be 10. OV13 should be 25. Making the total OVs 50. The OV level should be 5. It does change the guideline minimum range to 14 to 29.
Ooh.
No objection? Right, those changes will be made. Any other changes with respect to the guidelines, or is that it?
That's it, Judge.
And any victim impact statements to be made today?
Not today, Judge.
Anything else on behalf of the people?
Your Honor, on behalf of the people, I do want to thank Bradley Reckling's family, friends, colleagues, his widow, Jackie Reckling, who signed off on this sentence agreement as entered into by the people and the defense. I'd also like to thank the Homicide Task Force for their thorough investigation of this case. While this particular defendant was not charged with the murder of Bradley Reckling, he was involved, charged, and convicted of conducting a criminal enterprise that involved carjackings, stolen motor vehicles, and guns, which ultimately led to the culmination in, or ended with, the murder of Bradley Reckling, which he made the ultimate sacrifice for. And I think that needs to be recognized in this case. With that being said, I would ask that you adopt the sentence agreement as entered into by the people in the defense, and when it is appropriate, the people would move to dismiss the appropriate counts as indicated on the plea agreement.
Thank you. On behalf of Mr. Goowens.
Yes, ma'am. So our thoughts and prayers are with the individuals and the families impacted by the actions that bring us in court today. Mr. Goowens has accepted his portion of responsibility for those actions, asking the court to adopt the sentence agreement that we arrived at sentencing today with, and of course no objection to the dismissal of the counts that are also a part of the sentence agreement.
Wow, this attorney was actually pretty sharp. And that plaid suit, my friend, reminds me of the station wagon interior from '82. If this is a public defender, this is probably the best one I've ever seen.
Thank you for that, Mr. Sinclair. Mr. Goowens, today is the day and time set for sentencing. Is there anything that you would like to say to the court before the court imposes a sentence?
No, Your Honor.
All right.
Oh, man. I thought he was.
If you would please stand, sir. The court is going to abide by the sentence agreement you entered into with the people of the state of Michigan, sentencing you as follows. As to count 4, receiving and concealing a stolen property or motor vehicle, the court sentences you to 1 to 5 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections. As to count 13, carjacking, the court sentences you to 8 to 30 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections, which would be consecutive to count 14, weapons, felony, firearm, 2 years, which must be served consecutive to and preceding count 13, which is the carjacking. The court also sentences you for count 15, conducting a criminal enterprise, 5 to 20 years in the Michigan Department of Corrections.
Smoke just keeps rolling.
Is there a motion from the people?
There is a motion, Your Honor, pursuant to the sentence agreement, the people would move to dismiss counts 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12.
Any objection?
None, Judge.
Counts 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, and 12 will be dismissed pursuant to the sentence agreement you entered into with the people of the state of Michigan. You must pay a crime victim assessment fee in the amount of $130. You must pay court costs in the amount of $300. You must pay $272 in state costs. You may file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and sentence, and if you choose to do so, you must do so within 42 days. If you cannot afford an attorney, the court will appoint an attorney, furnish the attorney with portions of the record and transcript necessary to handle your appeal. This request must also be made within 42 days.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. 8 to 30 years in prison. And did you hear what the majority of his time came from? It was carjacking. Man, look, they don't play with that in no state across America. Kidnapping, abduction, carjacking, midnight burglary. Them things could get you 25 to 50 faster than you can say white on rice. And all you could have been doing was tagging along with your homeboys. Trying to make a few bucks, it doesn't matter. If stuff starts escalating and hits a fan, no matter who did what, chances are you're all gonna be hitting a fan. But hopefully someone today learned from this guy's mistakes and turned away from their own ways. That is the whole objective here, ladies and gentlemen, to show you the reality of how much time you could get in prison for these crimes that people commit every day. Hopefully it's hitting the right individuals' feeds and making them think twice. I'll tell you something that will make you think twice. I just can't show it is some of these prison stabbing videos. Man, I seen one yesterday of someone getting got 114 times. One dude was holding his legs, the other guy, man, I can't even break down what he was doing to him. Pure nightmare status. But anyways, let me go ahead and mention Kareem Moore was the third individual that was a part of this whole scheme of things, and he was sentenced to 3 to 20 years in prison for conducting a criminal enterprise, 2 years for a felony firearms charge, and 1 to 5 years for receiving and concealing a motor vehicle. But that's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, you know, birds of the same feather can get sentenced to prison together as well. Don't forget it, ladies and gentlemen. Until the next time, stay tuned. If you're new to the channel and enjoy, hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. And more importantly than anything, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.